this roar of eternity. The sun broke over the horizon, spilling golden light across a vast, untamed land. Towering ferns swayed gently in a humid breeze, their fronds glistening with dew. The air hummed with life, a symphony of chirps, bellowers, and distant calls. Nominating this, the beast's name, though unspoken by any, was Ravok. Among his kind, Ravok was a legend. His roar could send ripples across the still waters of the lake, striking terror into creatures miles away. But this morning, as Ravok emerged from his resting place, his senses were sharp but unease. The world felt different. The air carried a strange weight, and the usually familiar jungle seemed cloaked in an ominous stillness. Ravok's golden eyes scanned his territory, his nostrils flaring as he caught the scent of his nearby herd of triceratops. Their earthy, musky smell was mixed with the sweet aroma of crushed vegetation. Feast awaited him. Lowering his massive head, Ravok moved with surprising grace, and for a creature besides, eat the layer of leaves of the undergrowth at the lake. The Triceratops herd gathered. These armored herbivores, with their imposing frilled skulls and deadly horns, were no easy prey. Leading the group was an elder named Thraxus, his horns scarred from countless battles. Thraxus's watchful eyes scanned the tree line as juvenilence flashed in the Hundale waters. Despite the seeming tranquility, he did, too. The first sign of Ravok's presence came as a distant tremor. The earth vibrated with each step, and the ripples in the lake expanded outward in perfect circles. Thrax's head snapped up, and a guttural call escaped his throat, signaling the herd to gather. The younger Triceratops scrambled to the safety of a group, while the elves went into defensive frame, horned outward. Ravok stepped into the clearing, his massive frame silhouetted against the rising sun. For a moment, predator and prey locked eyes. Triceratops stood their ground, their combined bulk and weapons presenting a formidable challenge. But Ravok was undeterred. With a deafening roar that echoed across the jungle, the ground shook as predator and prey clashed. Ravok's jaws snapped at the flanks of the herd, narrowly missing the juveniles as the adults lunged forward, their horns slashing the air. Thraxus led the counterattack, his horns aimed squarely at Ravok's. In the chaos, a juvenile broke from the herd, its frightened cries piercing the air. Ravok's predatory instincts honed in on a weaker target, and he pivoted sharply. The chase was swift. But the elder Triceratops moved faster than expected. With a desperate bellow, panting heavily, Ravok retreated, his golden eyes glaring at the defiant herd. Today was not the day for victory. He turned and disappeared into the jungle, leaving the Triceratops to regroup. Yet, the strange unease persisted, gnawing at both predator and prey. Far above the source of that unease streaked through the sky. An asteroid, no larger than a small hill, blazed through the atmosphere. Its fiery descent painted the heavens with streaks of orange and red, a harbinger of destruction. Smaller fragments broke off, and miles away, in a valley nestled between jagged cliffs, another drama unfolded. A family of Brachiosaurus grazed on the tops of towering trees. These gentle giants with their long necks and placid temperaments were among the largest creatures to roam the earth. The matriarch, a colossal figure named Selena, had sensed the shift in the wind, her deep resonant call. The younger Brachiosaurus hesitated, reluctant to leave the lush grove, Solene's mate. Marok nudged them gently with his massive head guiding them forward. The ground beneath their feet trembled faintly. Elsewhere, in a shadowy canyon, a pair of velociraptors stalked their prey. These cunning predators, smaller than Ravok but no less lethal, relied on speed and strategy. Their target, a solitary ankylosaurus, lumbered through the canyon's rocky terrain. Its armored body and a club-like tail made it a dangerous opponent, but hunger drove the rest continued further. The raptors darted in and out, testing the Ankylosaurus's defenses sufficient to break Lysigma, run arms, and crush the human being. The winner. Harder pulling through the cliffs line after swinging the landslides. Then, without warning, the ground heaved violently. A deafening rumble filled the canyon as boulders tumbled from the cliffs above. The asteroid tumbled from the cliffs. The raptors fled, their hunt forgotten, as the Ankylosaurus dug its claws into the shifting ground. Dust and debris filled the air, blotted out the sun. When the tremors subsided, they came. The after its impact was cataclysmic. It struck the planet with unimaginable force, creating a crater that spanned miles. So, for Ravok, the world became a cacophony of chaos. The once familiar jungle was unrecognizable, its vibrant life reduced to smoldering wreckage. Disoriented but determined, he roared defiantly. The Triceratops herd, led by Thraxis, struggled to navigate the devastation. Fires raged, and the air was thick with ash. The juveniles huddled close, their frightened cries muffled by the roar of the wind. Thraxis' strength began to wane, but his resolve never faltered. In the valley, Selena and her family reached the cliffs. The towering Arcos, Saraiza, saluted against the darkened sky. There were forms like ancient sentinels. Selena gazed at the horizon. Days turned to weeks, and the land continued to burn. Near the asteroid's impact had unleashed a global chain reaction. Volcanic eruptions spewed molten rock and toxic gases, while tsunamis swallowed the entire coastline. The once teeming ecosystems were now graveyards of ash and bone. Ravok, battered but unbroken, became a phantom of the jungle. His roar, once a symbol of dominance, now echoed through empty valleys, a haunting reminder of what had been. He scavenged what little food remained, his survival instincts driving him forward, and he could not escape the suffocating grip of the ash-filled sky. The Triceratops herd dwindled, their numbers reduced by starvation and exposure. Thraxis, now a shadow of his former self, led the remnants of his group to a secluded glide. There, amidst the ruins of their world, they found a brief respite. The air was growing colder, and the sun remained hidden behind the shroud of ash. Selena's family fared no better. The highlands provided shelter from the floods. The lack of food took its toll. One by one, the younger Tyrannosaurus succumbed, their massive forms collapsing under the weight of starvation. Celadon and Maru stood laid away, their once mighty frames diminished, but their bond unbroken. As months passed, the earth began its slow recovery. The skies, though still gray, started to clear. Sparks of life emerged from the devastation, resilient and determined. Among them were the descendants of the survivors. Creatures are adapted to the harsh new world. Ravok's legacy endured in the echoes of his final roar, a sound that resonated through the ages. The Triceratops herd's defiance became a symbol of resilience, their lineage continuing in the face of overwhelming odds. As Selena's mournful calls faded into legend, a reminder of the giants that once ruled the earth. The age of the dinosaurs had come to an end, but their story, their struggle for survival, all the triumphs and tragedies, was etched into the very fabric of the planet.